Hello everyone. Want to show you a quick little tactic that my opponent and I missed from a recent Blitz game I played on Lead Chest. I thought it was super cool when I went into it, so just wanted to share it. Starting off, basic English opening, not important what that means. Do some really basic development stuff, things like that. And okay, first important move of the game. So this is a 5+3 game, which means we both have 5 minutes on our actual clocks, and then we get an extra 3 seconds for every move added to that. And here you can see this is the first time I got it going into the tank. I'm at 421, and I spent around a minute on this move, just kind of, calculating it, and I was pretty happy with it, felt pretty good. But as you can see, not the best move. And so the idea behind this move is directly we're attacking Black's bishop, and we're also threatening this pawn with a fork. So Black's only move here is retake the bishop, and then again here, this is kind of the whole idea, but it turns out not to be good. Right now, winning a pawn, also hitting Black's queen. Queen has to move. This is what happened in the game. We take the rook. Black takes our rook. We take the knight. They save their bishop. We take their knight. They get our knight, and then we do some, whatever move to shore up. And as you can see here, we're up a pawn. Black has a weird pawn structure, and White's good here. Not winning by any means, but, White's doing all right. But like I said, I found this whole sequence and I was like pretty happy with it. And then the engine said, actually, no, you're stupid. And I was like, why, engine? Why would you say that to me? What it actually wants is to just do king takes g2, queen e8, and just not go into this. It kind of defeats the whole purpose of doing this move if you do that. But, this is what the engine wants. And so, okay, knight takes e6, queen e7, knight takes f8, and then not bishop takes f1. This is the wrong move. In fact, Black has a better move here, and the only move that works in the position, bishop h3. Really cool move here. So typically in these like double desperado situations where like both sides are like, taking a whole bunch of material, you always want to be taking at least as much as your opponent did, right? So because I just took a rook, they should be taking a rook. However, they're just saving a bishop. Bishop's worth less than a rook typically. So not a super reasonable move. And then again, what the engine wants is just rook e1, and then Black recaptures the piece, and Black's up 2 minors for the rook. That's better for Black. So why does it want this? Well, okay, what happens if you keep going? After knight takes d7, again, if Black just kind of bails out of this, White's doing better. White's up the exchange because of White got a rook while Black spent the turn saving their bishop. But instead, again, Black has only move, great move here, queen takes e2, right? So the idea behind this move is you're threatening to take the rook, which is mate in 1, and you're also threatening to kind of walk around and checkmate. Okay, so how can White stop this? Queen e1, no way to stop the mate. Rook e1, same thing. How do you stop it? And then White can also make, the silly stalling move, knight takes f6, and then Black just doesn't recapture. Believe it or not, recapturing is bad. And the reason why is because White can do this queen e1 move, okay, queen f3, that's the usual idea, and then this very nice queen e6 check, right? And so now, after the Black king steps away, White is able to put their queen here on d5, and they're defending that square, so Black can't go here because it's sort of x-ray defended by the queen, right? It would just be losing a piece there. And otherwise, White's just up a full rook, so White would be winning this. Kind of very similarly here, Black could play a move like king f8. Not good. Knight takes h7. If the king steps to the e file, the queen gets pinned. King steps to f7, the bishop gets forked. So king would have to go to g8, queen e1, queen f3, queen is blah, blah, blah. Exact same idea. White's up a rook, and doesn't matter that they lost the knight, and they're sort of x-ray defending this square. So what the engine actually wants is king f7, right? And so the idea behind this move is if White goes for this queen e1 defense, then after queen f3, there's no way to stop this mate here, right? You do not have any of this nice like little check right here. It doesn't work because the king's there to defend the square. Great. And I thought, oh, that's cool. That makes sense. But then there's one other king move that wasn't shown, and that is, what about king h8? It turns out this is bad. And it's because White has, again, only move here that's winning. Any other idea, just completely losing, Black's winning this, is bishop h3. Come on, bishop h3. Wait, h6. Fuck, I fucked that like 3 times. You got it. Right? Bishop h6, and here, the idea is that, okay, if Black takes this pawn, then after capture, we're getting mate. If Black takes the bishop, then White has this nice little check. King can't step over because it'd be mate, so Queen has to block. We get the queens off. White's up a rook. This is winning. However, and of course, if Black just goes for this queen f3 idea, then White has, okay, bishop takes g7 check. King is forced out, only move. They do not have time to go for this little checkmate because they're currently in check. And then you could do 98, and this will be leading to mate. The queen will come in, the rook will come over. Engine says, what is that, mate and 9? Not super important. That's just the way it be. So anyway, this whole sequence, just kind of starting from the beginning here, we got this isn't good, and you have to see all of this from the very beginning. After bishop takes, knight takes, queen steps over, it takes here. You have to see only move bishop h3, kind of a strange move. After knight takes d7, only move queen takes e2, and then after this knight captures here, only move king f7, right? And then you're winning. What a crazy sequence there. So anyway, and for those who want it, just kind of the actual game itself, knight d4 move, black takes here, we kind of go into this typical thingy. And then here, black played bishop h3, which isn't best. So this is kind of what I was calculating and why I thought it was good. So black should have captured this pawn here. And I thought, okay, I take. And then black has a weird pawn structure. We're equal in pawns, but it should be good. However, white's actually losing a pawn because there's no way to save these pawns. I missed that. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to apologize. Okay, I'm done. So here they play bishop h3, and then I take the knight, and then, okay, here black gets a little bit of a kingside attack going, but we're up a pawn. Now we're up 2 pawns. We bring our rook around, blah blah blah. Slide our rook. We get the queens off the board, get the rooks off the board, and it's an opposite colored bishop in game, which can be kind of drawish, but obviously 2 pawns is more than sufficient. Not perfect technique, but get that outside pass pawn rolling, lose a pawn there for it, and then we decide, yep, we're gonna hunt that down. They have to give up their bishop, and opponent resigned here. So anyway, hope you enjoy the video. I know it's not the usual thing, but don't forget to smash. I'm not going to do that shit.